Because EG obviously lost, they got choice. They went back to blue side. It will be interesting to see if it's just kind of a salty run back. You know, are they willing to go towards the same composition? And if they are, if I'm TL, I'd be pretty darn happy about what your answers were from the previous game. So, you know, and sometimes in these games, in the second game of a series, if you don't doubt your preparation, you can get a lot of similarities.
Yeah, and on the same side, you know, EG happy to go right back into it versus Team Liquid 2. Jojo did get later, a little bit later than expected, some very good Twisted Fate plays off to both sides of the map and capitalize on it. So coming down to play, I like it when they still have confidence in their prep. Again, no surprise though, Jarvan once again, boom, right back into it.
Yep.
You see an immobile Twisted Fate towards mid, you've got early ganking power with this champion, you have a very good ultimate to play against this champion, and very similar
So far,
opening.
It's interesting, you know, and honestly, if I'm thinking about this game from the point of view of Inspired,
Is this
like,
pre-recorded? Are we running the wrong one here?
I mean, you
The
think,
hovers are different. The hovers are different. He
there
was
we
on
go.
Zillion for longer last time. Definitely confirmed the new champ select.
you know, you think about the Viego game, you know, from his point of view, where he was up a lot in farm. You know, there was that one fight in the river where it was so incredibly close to him actually resetting and potentially, you know, changing the course of that game entirely.
I need to shout out that Bjergsen keeps hovering Victor Lux, Victor Lux, Victor Lux, taunting Fudge from getting slammed yesterday or the day before. It's like,
That's one of those like shooting flame off into the horizons. Like, what the heck? Well, why did he
That is
deserve that?
He just got
amazing.
astray. He's
Yeah.
not even in this series.
What the hell, man?
All right, well, so far, 3 for 3 on both sides.
I'm still coming to terms with this. I think it's like Bjergsen's like almost always like so like quiet. He's like, oh yeah, I respect my teammates and I respect my opponents. Hope it's a good match tomorrow. Now he's like, Fudge, you're trash.
I would like to further delve into this story because I know Phreak's always looking for flame, but this very well probably, you know, it actually turns out that Coach and Bjergsen were talking.
They're just debating about
hey,
these
we should,
champions.
you know, what about
Nothing to
this?
do
What
with
about
it.
this?
Yeah.
And it's completely harmless. And Phreak is
like, no, bro, Lux TF's good, man.
All right, let's continue on here, though. Once again, the Rakan getting banned out again. Now, this is pretty interesting because we didn't really talk about it last time around, but I really love the idea that an LCS team would possibly bring out some of the roaming smite support solo lane strategies too.
Yeah.
Rakan is another one up there with Janna. You know, Janna's not banned out also, so
Karma.
you would see more of a focus there, but it also is another really good engage option, you know, from the bottom side for TL to try and work with. So they continue to try and focus down, ban out a little bit here for Eyla / some.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if there's going to be any changes in the ban. So
That's
Graves is getting banned out. So they dropped GP and they do ban Graves. So that is a pretty big change, but this means he could go Graves, which is a pretty good option into the Gwen in the early game. And also, having removed Scurvy, being able to remove the gold card is actually really powerful to answer those roams as well. So I think this makes a lot of sense. So we are going to have some divergence in the draft. And it'll be interesting to see if the support picks are going to differ at all. You know, we talked about Tahm Kench as an option in the previous game as a really good answer into the J4. You know, are they happy with everything else that they picked?
I will say I don't like Braum in the sense that so much of his CC is just like that one stun, and he's gonna run cleanse. You're not gonna get a lot out of the cleanse. He's gonna do double duty against Braum Q and against gold card. Someone like Nautilus, where you have a hard knockup on the kit, or an Alistar with a hard knockup, that's not cleansable. You can't cleanse flash that. You can't QSS flash that. That'll actually keep the Aphelios locked down.
Yeah, or could go with, you know, some more range, some more lane power.
Sure.
You know, instead of just picking for the team too. So, couple of options that they have for Vulcan.
Okay, so
Vulcan definitely one of the stars here. They are going to have the safety of the Tahm Kench, which is always nice when you have double immobile carries.
And they got blasted by the Cataclysms last game. Like, they kept getting trapped in the Cataclysm, you know, with Graves Q, all this AoE damage coming over the top, and that's an option I thought would have been good last game. They bring it out this game. And the Poppy jungle. So I'll be interested to see if it is Chemtank or not. I thought it was going to be Chemtank when Blabber brought it out yesterday, but he did go Divine Thunder, which is kind of the previous build that was really popular. But a lot of people really liking Chemtank junglers again on 12.2. And this is going to give some answers to some of these dashing champions. You know, interrupt the J4 dash, interrupt Sylas, who's in there. It is just going to be the one change for TL that is forced out by the Graves ban. They're running 4-for-4. The other ones are the same, but EG with a couple changes that I think really changes the dynamic of how their composition works.
And there's some key things that lead into that choice of the two builds, because both are good in different scenarios, and Gangplank is better when you're facing full squishy team, because it does allow you to position for better wall bangs, and it does have really good proc damage, but it's flat damage. Meanwhile, Divine Sunder, percentage health damage.
Yep.
Very, 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 very good against so many of these health stacking bruisers. Jarvan clearly is one of those, and being able to, use his own Cataclysm against him, you probably won't even need extra movement speed to be able to get a wall or find a wall to be able to knock people into. And then Divine Sunder procs will do a lot versus him and people like Sylas who do have health but not so much resistances.
It'll be interesting to see which one he wants to go for, right? Because there's not a lot of true tanks, but there is, as you say, some HP
Health
stackers
stacking
here.
is the way to go, because true tanks, the armor also makes it more difficult. So the HP stackers are the dream.
Alrighty, well, trophy on the line. Who's gonna win the second ever LCS lock-in tournament? Team Liquid already up 1-0 in the series. In about an hour and a half, they could already be the winners. See if EG can bounce back with a different looking draft, force a different top laner, grab a different last 2 picks as well with the jungle and support.
An $150,000 prize here. Not bad for a weekend tournament here for either of the teams, honestly. It's such a big prize pool, and I know a lot of players really having that extra motivation to play for pride, to play for glory, to really start the season off on the right foot here, to prove that they are the top of the table and they're the ones to beat.
I mean, it's the game. It's why we're here. It's because we want competition. It's why you're pro gamers, to beat everyone else. Obviously, you're earning a living, important, but the fact that you can crush everyone. I know in my youth competed for $0, and it felt good to win, because that's what it was all about. And now we're here doing this some more. So, what's it look like in game 2?
I'm just excited for this round 2 because, Bjergsen did perform extremely well in the last one, get a lot of kills, but I don't think there were super egregious mistakes from Jojo, and them having the confidence to run it back. This is what you love to see. Both of them sticking to their guns here. Jojo, again, gonna look as a team to get more control of the vision around mid lane, to open up those roams. This time around, I think Inspired on the Poppy is actually better positioned to do that versus J4 than previously.
And I'm interested to see if it's going to be that heavy focus towards topside, because that's what it was last game.
Well, it's not going to be a kill. That's a really good double Q right there.
Also, I want to point out, this is another variation on the Poppy jungle. It is not the phase rush, it is Conqueror Poppy.
Ooh.
Inspired wants to brawl.
That'll be really exciting to see how he plays that out. It's also worth mentioning, first strike on the GP. Grasp is definitely still the most common. First strike is actually higher win rate and can be very effective, especially against these melee champions. It also amps up your barrel chains later on, can be really, really powerful. If you get a nice barrel combo into GP ulti with the first strike passive, in the mid game, that gives you so much gold. It's actually shocking how rich you can get playing this champion now, between all of the passive income, and the extra gold for minions, last hits with Q, and then first strike if you get a really nice combo.
Yeah, it certainly feels to me like a skew towards late game away from early game power, but obviously doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, cashing in on that. But checking in on the junglers, Santorin did the kind of quick red start of red Raptors. Didn't go for a level 2 Jarvan gank, which is a possibility in the Twisted Fate Sylas matchup, because Twisted Fate is trying to play the early lane phase so aggressively, going for harassment, trying to get a health advantage onto Sylas early on, while top lane is actually the more interesting of the two. And Jarvan is going to end his path down bottom. Similarly for Inspired, though, they're going to match down there.
Yeah.
So the fight over bottom Scuttle Crab should go the way of EG. They've got the Twisted Fate pushing in Sylas. They're the ones trading very heavily on the health bars, but currently, Bjergsen has burned, again, all of his potions.
Maybe pushed out at 6 CS on a recall like last time. I want to point out that Impact's playing this lane really, really well. He has Ignite difference, right? So if you're both at 20%, Impact already won the lane because you're dead to EQ Ignite, and, through Scurvy's cut by half. So he's kind of playing it now towards the edge. And again, there's the Ignite, there's the Scurvy, and Bwipo, he will just barely live, but this lane that's a forced recall, almost certainly.
Yeah, you can't actually recall there, because Impact will just run past it. So now it gets really awkward, and you have this horrible situation where your recall is just going to get fully stopped. You have to run beyond the tier 2 tower to actually recall, then TP back, back, and this is so rough.
Oh, does
as
he
a top
EQ him?
laner.
Oranges are up. Does he EQ him?
No, just take the recall. That's so
He
greedy.
also has flash.
I'm just saying.
That is so insanely greedy right there. Don't listen to Phreak, the devil on your shoulder. Well done there by Impact. And the reason it's so greedy is because you really screw over your recall timing to get your purses off and get back to the advantage
And
that you
maybe die.
Yeah, the advantage that you just created kind of gets thrown into the garbage there. So well done, as you were saying, leading up to it.
But what if you kill him?
By Impact and denying.
I've seen your games, Phreak. You go for that.
It's bad.
You also die for that.
There's a reason I only end in Diamond 4 every season. I make a lot of bad choices.
But it is fun to go for it. Not in this case, though. And I'm going to be interested to see if Jojo is going to make the early roams. Because remember last game, he was up a couple waves, but he actually lost that advantage off of an early roam top where Bjergsen was able to catch up.
And look at the rewards for Impact for not going for the greed play. You get a big pushing wave bounced off of the turret back in your favor. And this means Santorin's got to come over here to play off of this basically mini objective that has been created by the top laners. And junglers have to answer triple stacked waves like this. This is just so much gold up there.
And you save your TP. You didn't even need to use it because of the timing on that. You get the earlier base, you walk back to lane, you hold the TP, knowing even if there is a move up to top and you get ganked, you're not going to lose much off of that. You can just TP right back. Yes, Bwipo will get the reset, and I believe he is playing Futures Market to be able to grab the Sheen there, so, he'll have a pretty decent buy himself. Yep, he is negative gold, so Futures Market allowed him to get the call, and it allowed him to get the Sheen, so it did kind of bail him out of what would have been a no-buy, essentially, off of the first push, and that just does show some of the power of this rune can be really undervalued, because he would have come back with actually a pink ward as his only buy.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have been able to get anything.
That first recall would have been chilling, and then that second recall is like, I finally shoved it in, now I can buy Sheen. That's just kind of awkward. So yeah, the Cole already paying forward, looking pretty good. And now we have the look at the first dragon. Keep in mind, Santorin killed it by around this time last game.
Yeah, so Bjergsen does not have his teleport, so you can easily surmise with the mid laner going back, not going to go for this dragon, and now it's really this war over the vision war through the river. Blue one here on the top side, so possible moves from EG coming from this area, but on support roam timers, they actually go up through to try and clear out the vision leading towards that dragon, towards this mid lane. Now the level 6s come in. This is the point where you put so much priority on keeping track of the Twisted Fate hovering to either side.
And you can see he actually didn't elect to go for the early roam this time, now just waiting for 6, so playing a little bit more towards the lane, trying to keep that CS and XP advantage. Bjergsen here getting wrapped around on.
One in the fog. There's a gold card. Inspired waiting, seeing if there was a bait. There wasn't anyone else coming in. Bjergsen didn't go in for the push, so no gank to be had. Always could have E'd out as Bjergsen, so stays in the fog, doesn't give away his location if he can, and just takes top scuttle.
Bit interesting though. I thought they might have gotten a bit more aggressive there. They had the spellbook ignite, so they had the ability to try to play it a little bit more aggro. But Inspired can be spotted in the ward, and Bwipo already has the push here. So unless Impact wants to hold for the freeze, it's not any really thing to worry about.
Yeah, it's interesting because of the fact that if the Jarvan is there and you're both hitting, then you are very probably going to lose that 2v2. But if Poppy gets to arrive first and you get to hit first on the Sylas, then Poppy can W the Jarvan EQ trying to join the 2v2, and you get massive advantage, and you get to snowball off of the timing window, basically. So it's just about the small second of the engagement, and if you have time to get the first hit, and then reactively, if you see a flag come down, instantly W, interrupt the Jarvan, and you interrupt all that damage that comes through. If Jarvan doesn't hit EQ, Jarvan doesn't win early skirmishes.
And Ignite is on, ulti on as well. Flash for Bwipo, but it's not going to be enough.
One
Needs
more.
the last ult, but he doesn't get the auto attack. EQ comes in, but the reinforcements have arrived. That is going to be a kill, traded back 400 to 450.
Big kill though for Impact there. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a huge wave. Inspired is going to have to actually pick this up because the wave was pushing towards him. Bwipo was trying to break the freeze that Impact had set up, and he got himself a solo kill.
Oh, he wants it. 2v1 on Bjergsen. Bjergsen does have flash. No ulti. Tackle backwards. Misses the Q, but the knockout's going to be there. And now with the W in the way, Bjergsen does have a way out. They're going to claim the kill. Jojopyun on the board with the kill.
AG come up big. They get the counterplay. They pick up the wave here. They get another kill on a solo laner. Jojo and Impact already having a kill to their name.
So many small things with these map rotations. Also off the bottom lane recall from the EG side, they rotate over towards mid.
It was all about the cannon, man. It's the classic cannon greed. And you can find so many kills sometimes off that. Bwipo was trying to step forward to actually cue the cannon there. Impact knew it. He had the passive procced 4 times. He was ready to go.
Then in the follow-up, even if you're the one that just made the play, Twisted Fate answer. You can see the gold from Jojopyun inside the pit, though. Eyla.
No aggro dragon, no extra damage being put across right now. Vulcan gonna tank him as best he can. Flash wage from Eyla, and now has a teammate. Bjergsen's around. Is it going to be enough? Is the question. Blast plant means safety. Hansama trading with Danny back and forth. Now in the front line. Cataclysm comes across. Vulcan will drop, and round 2 is here. Slows on an impact, trying to run away. Does have the ability to keep walking, but the health bar is getting lower and lower, and he is down. A double kill in for Hansama.
It's a repeat of last game. EG forcing a fight in the river. TL are better prepared for it. Hans with the stacked up truck rooms gets a double kill there, and EG's advantage is gone.
And I love this choice, not to go for the dragon and the delayed rewards of dragon stacking. Instead, just rushing towards the Herald so that you can actually blow this lead open. Get the Herald, use it early on this tower to get the extra plates.
Good flash, has Inspire. This could be enough. Eyla's going to be pretty good, though. It's going to root 1. Has to get out of range. He's going to be rooted. Inspire doesn't break that one, and so that means Bjergsen able to flash to get the safety.
Well, nicely done there defending Danny, but still, it's a trade of flashes there. You know, he does force that pressure down towards that bottom side.
And now we're going to finally get the response for the dragon here for EG off of the play on Bjergsen. They forced him out. He does have teleport. He's just sitting around at the tower with no health, and his bottom lane is recalled. So should be the delayed answer here as they can transition, finish up that dragon. But revisiting the ramifications of that mid play, Jojo got to push in the entire wave towards mid, still make the gank towards top. So Jojo has so much money this time around, and he invested in one of the most efficient and my favorite items for any AP is the Dark Seal early on. Got 2 stacks on it.
Hans on the way over. Careful in the 1v3. Impact goes in, but it's a bait. Ulti's on for the slow. It's going to mean a little bit here. Hansama does not have crowd control on the gun. Next barrel could do some decent damage, but well-timed impact. You can even see it go to 1 health.
Yeah, that's a GP player if I've ever seen one. Yeah. He knows the timing on those barrels.
Yeah, he's been quite good at it for the majority of the matchup here. I think Impact performing extremely well, considering how much domination we saw from Bwipo yesterday. Meanwhile, we are going to have the full reset coming out. Tahm, Kench with Poppy head up through blue quadrant. We've seen Hansama and Eyla up there get punished before from the rotation. This time, it's going to be a hover over towards mid for Vulcan instead to help Danny push it out.
It's also worth noting when you're comparing to last game, Hans was massively up on farm over Danny in the previous game. It was a good 20-30 CS. He already had an advantage. Then they went down there. They pressured him. They pushed him off waves. Yeah. This time, he is actually up a little bit of farm, but unfortunately, Hans still going to be up a lot of gold with those 2 kills.
It's worth noting that TL, hold on, we got a possible fight in the river. Santorin back to safety. Team that could red the bottom lane is a lot less safe than last time. Eyla went Spell Thieves against Braum and is like, I can farm this idiot. Like, there's no way they can fight us. It's free. Like, we'll just push him down all the time. Went Relic Shield here against Tahm Kench because he knows there's credible threat that Varus slow into Tahm Kench W could just be a kill, and they play the lane a lot more safely.
Yeah, Tahm Kench W is definitely one of the most underestimated playmaking abilities, and Vulcan used it here.
Not going to find a knockout. Will be slow, but has a shield if needed. Rooted in place. Not going to matter there either. The Herald charge, it's going to drop that turret down to 500 health. The question is, can they do the rest of it afterwards? A very low health turret. 2 minutes to go until they can knock down that 5th plate and first turret goal.
So, down on the bottom side, you can see Jojo's already pushing out there, you know, laning against Bwipo. He has the ultimate back up and ready to go, and we'll see if he can try to find some sort of a play. For now, it just feels like TL want to play up around this top side, want to try to pressure, look to grab that first tower, and EG are happy to spread the map, you know, more of their vision kind of centered around that bottom side.
And one of the things that you should be looking for as Evil Geniuses here is trying to punish the flashless members. You know, Hansama's got flash and cleanse, so that's not a great playmaking target for Jojo on this Twisted Fate. He's got his ultimate ready to go, as you say, plus his own flash and a stopwatch. Like, he's kind of riding this curve. He got one of the early kills, Dark Steel stacking. EG want to push out the lanes and try and make another play, but it's a good answer from Team Liquid. They're cognizant of this. Hansama, go mid. You've got Lulu with you. You have double summoner spells. You are not vulnerable at all. And they have Sylas, Bjergsen all the way on the other side of the map. But Twisted Fate, you can only get halfway across the map, can't get all the way up there, and they're kind of denying by lane assignment that pickoff opportunity. They're only exposing the 2 members that have cleanses, GP with the orange, and the actual cleanse there on Hansama to that possible play. So I think it's just intelligent kind of avoidance of what they know EG are trying to work off.
Yeah, absolutely. And EG haven't been willing to try to get aggressive in the enemy jungle and try to punish someone like the Jarvan with that. You know, because if you can try to set up that play, then, well, Sylas not being in the same lane as the TF can become problematic because you can't actually steal the ult to match. So, you know, EG, we'll see if they want to get a little bit more aggressive here around these next neutrals. They do have the first dragon. I do think they want to continue stacking to set themselves up with a win condition there so they can play sides. And, you know, even if you get the first 2 dragons and you threaten the other team to try to force to kind of respond to that on the 3rd one, well, then you can play sides with your TF and your Gwen and buy more time there because Impact is actually falling down quite a lot in gold. I mean, he got that solo kill, but then he was roaming to actually answer some of the plays. He died on that roam. Bwipo went call and is just GP with first strike, so he has so much extra gold.
And I will say, one of the big differences in CS was afforded by that lane swap, so a lot of it is in Jojo's hands. That's why we see him far and above at the top of this ladder here. He also basically got the extra wave.
Loaded.
Yeah, he got the extra wave out of the trade, but Bwipo with the Trinity Force GP as well. This is definitely a big bonus for me.
Phreak's got a crush on him now.
I love seeing the damage pumping here coming out of it. And we kind of discussed, you know, the basically Divine versus high health targets thing before in the hands of Poppy builds, but versus GP, barrels have 1 health, so
yeah, it's just the worst
also
cheat
not
item.
good there.
Yeah. Unless you're gonna Divine Thunder Q people, means you're not doing barrel chains, means you're not getting armor pen and bonus damage. Like, Triforce is his best 1 item spike. This is the best 1 item spike you can go for. It gives him power now for, say, stacking dragons or winning the next team fight, and it still scales quite well.
And with the crit cloak, you can kind of expect he's probably going to go collector second. He's looking for very heavy burst style build. That can lead into, you know, LDRIE if you want to go for those style of builds where you want to really have the crazy barrel potential. But he gets first tower for himself, solo gold now. Despite getting solo killed, Bwipo is going to be the richest man on the map by a lot. And this is problematic for Impact. You know, you can't just allow the GP to be sitting in his comfort zone, farming. He will just get too far ahead of the pace of the game with how quickly he prints gold.
Well, right now, second dragon is being attacked, and Team Liquid seem to have complete control over it. Bwipo in the top lane, holding on to his ultimate, knows he can support, and it could be a 4v5 versus 4. And ultimately, no play to be had. Team Liquid get the second dragon easily, and for now, EG just licking their wounds.
And this is all while avoiding any of the punishments on blown flashes. All summoners are back and available now for all Team Liquid members. So just the control that they have had in this series and the discipline of these players does kind of back up one of the parts of this matchup that people were kind of setting up as more old guards and assured members versus some of the new young talent. I still like a lot of the looks that EG have gone for, but the stall out here in the mid game bodes very well for Team Liquid. Getting a dragon themselves, they also have kind of put to bed some of those worries. EG get right back out to it though, and they still want to take down these towers to open up more room for the Twisted Fate to play with, so Herald number 2 will definitely do that.
I kind of like the double cloak of agility, honestly. Keep in mind that the barrel base damage, like all the base damage stuff on the Gangplank kit actually crits. So you functionally have free bonus AD. Your like base AD is 200 for all intents and purposes. So like, oh, critical strike is not my best damage scaler. So I actually really do like this. I think it is very smart. Bwipo has some wild choices that aren't very good, but he has some really smart build techs. This is one of them.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because it's kind of, do you need the extra crit right now to do a quicker spike? Or do you want the completion of the collector, 600 gold faster, so that you're more powerful at that time, right? And to me, that is kind of the trade-off. And since they are playing a slower style of game, you know, I tend to favor getting the completed item spike, then looking to really fight around that. But we'll see if they do actually scrap prior, because yeah, I think that the 600 gold spent on this is about as efficient as you can get. It's obviously much better than just like buying a longsword.
Right, of course. So yeah, that can be, of course, a complete consideration. I would even take double cloak over, say, just a pure serrated dirk. The collector question itself is one that's worth asking, and we'll see if it ever would have gotten to that point. But right now, we're just clearing waves back and forth as we are having a bit of a slow and an attempted knockup that will not land. Vulcan forced a flash away, but that means a dunk in towards our boy Tahm Kench, but a tackle. Poppy's there to betray him. Cataclysm kills himself.
Man, teamwork makes the dream work there.
Uh-oh. Oh, the Devourer was down, and that means the dunk is in! Hansama gets one and sets up the second!
DL won't even let you finish your sentence, buddy! The answer is there! Hansama lands the purple gun, Gravitum, snare is enough, they pick off Jojo, follow up with their secondary kill, and they end up getting mid-turret as well. Yes, EG, with that Herald they invested in earlier, can finish up on this top side and should be able to get the charge at the very least on the second turret, if not overstaying for it here as the rest of Team Liquid come to collect.
Yeah, he's not going to get it. It's not being auto, so it's just going to be dead. And Bjergsen at the same time took the bottom tier 1. So they actually got so much from that. The initial play looked pretty nice for EG, and now they're looking for Hans, who has cleanse.
Has flash, gets away from all of it. They kind of layered the CC, able to disjoint the Poppy charge as well.
It was a really cool fight, though, because you did get to see the interactions that they're looking for with Poppy and Tahm Kench, where J4 goes into the Cataclysm, and he just sets himself up for the stun. So as soon as we see the flash out here from Vulcan, you have the call from TL, okay, we're going in. But the immediate tackle into the wall, then the stun lands here, and then Vulcan can actually eat Inspire to bring him to safety because he got knocked back out of that.
But then it turns. Gold card out, you see the snare afterwards, and the result is a huge win for Team Liquid. So Poppy gets to shine for a second before being snuffed out pretty quickly there by TL.
Double Cloak, at least in that fight, paid off. Obviously, he doesn't have foresight to know there's going to be a team fight breaking out, but in that case, early power spike
does he?
Bwipo, he's
so another thing
machine.
that I like to touch on for Bwipo is
oh my god, he has an IE.
but it was IE plus 2 cloaks. Because that almost gets you there.
Yep.
He's still shy,
He just bought a full IE is my point.
I know.
It wasn't that he completed one of the cloaks into an IE. He's just like, oh yeah, I have 3,600 gold. You know, I'm rich.
I love listening to his interviews, though, where he's talking about trying to bring the unexpected to his opponents. And guess what? Crit chance is one of the very few things that the designers have left in the game that can bring that to your opponents. He wants to make them feel uncomfortable. So it's also not surprising with this player how he views the game and how he wants to set up those scenarios that he also invested in the earlier crit, but now more powerful.
Kobe, I'm uncomfortable because his crit chance is 50%. The IE unique passive, unless the item is bugged, doesn't happen to do anything just yet.
Yeah, so he doesn't have that, so it's maybe not the most efficient build. But you know, once he gets like an upgrade on those
both need to be legendary items because Zeal isn't 20% crit chance either.
Yeah,
he has to go all the way to like Lord Dominance and Collector.
I'm pretty surprised that he actually bought just straight up IE.
Unless that, there we go. Now he's done it. Now the build's online.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 This is the build, Bwipo.
I love the answer though because okay, never mind. We might get the engage.
I guess it's still that stopwatch.
He sold the stopwatch.
He sold the stopwatch. We dunk it into Bjergsen. The CC is layered. Stopwatch burned. Bwipo doesn't have one, but is it the damage? Flashes back to safety. Big frontline hit is in. Impacting the front line. Barrel. Chunk standing at a half HP as a shield bow is popped afterwards. And that is a fight that TL successfully disengaged.
I just love the answer so quick from Bwipo. It's like he heard you talking. He's like, oh, you think I have to go all the way to upgrading both Zeal items?
No.
No, sir. You just go for 3. Here's the engage from Impact, though. Little snip on the side before he decides better.
Yep, it's the perfect build path right here.
I love it.
You sell your Corrupting
This is
Flask,
perfection.
you buy a crit cloak, then you get another crit cloak.
Yeah.
Then you build the IE, then you sell the stopwatch for a 3rd crit cloak.
It's like the curve of like the peanut brain up to the expanded brain, and then
Back to peanut
all
brain.
the way
and then
around.
back.
And he's a genius.
And now
I
he's
love
got a
this.
deal.
Great.
Perfect.
Crit chance not upgraded, but that's okay.
Fun. Okay, possibly a bigger playmaking item there. The Zhonya is now also completed from Bjergsen, and again, the Sylas was quite big in the previous game, so you know, he hasn't gotten to the massive levels of being overfed with all the kills that he had a bunch of extra ability haste on top of this, but even this enough. 2-item power spike for Sylas is renowned. They even in the race for the Dark Seals stacks that we were kind of brought up early on, where Jojo got out to an early lead, had 2. He fully upgraded to Medjai's to try and get the Mythic bonus on it as well, but lost all the stacks in the process, and Bjergsen feeling quite good about his 2-item power spike now.
Yeah, I gotta interject. What are the odds it's just Zeal, Zeal, Zeal? Like, I think like about 50% chance this build just becomes Zeal, Zeal, Zeal. We gotta fight in the bottom river right now, though. Power spike trying to do pretty well. Impact healing back up, and the snipe comes through. 5v4 on the map. Okay, we got a dunk coming across, but there is a Tahm Kench, and he's going to burn a stopwatch first, and now to eat his teammate. Back to safety, shield is on, Jojopyun is out, but the chase down is nearly enough. Hansama is not afraid. Forceman flashes away. 5v4 in the map, but the health bars are so low, there's no fight for EG.
I mean, Aphelios is just unstoppable at that point. If you do not have overwhelming amounts of damage to burst them down, you cannot threaten him with red-white guns, a Lulu behind him, and if they get inspired, they're going to get Baron.
Poppy needs to get a pretty big channel ultimate to live. Doesn't have it back up yet, though, and that's going to be a kill picked up. Hansama on the board yet again with the killing spree.
And that's going to be Baron. Again, these health lead fights that Team Liquid get, they still are able to get such an advantage out of it. Picking off the jungler, starting up Baron, teleport out. No vision inside the pit currently for EG.
Feels like a game.
They've got Twisted Fate ultimates, but it would be still a risky attempt at a steal. You know, you have to like wild card.
Their snipe is pretty good. Their snipe is actually pretty good. It's playable.
The execution.
1200, and it's claimed! Spell!
Jojo!
Smite! Jojopyun claims the Baron!
Oh my god, and Bwipo, they knew about it. Bwipo was spam pinging that TF had smite. You could see it actually in the chat box there. So he knew that it was coming in, and Danny plus Jojo, the power of the Zoomers, baby. The Canadian combo there. They flip the switch in the Rockat replay here. The Q plus ulti timing comes through, and they just straight up burst down. What is it at? It's at 1600,
15, 13, 12, 11, 899? Was that 899 smite?
Yeah. Oh
Jojo's got a better smite than most junglers I know. That is NA talent for you, baby. Oh my goodness, Team Liquid.
That was sick.
Team Liquid flipped the Baron, but EG flipped the switch, and they get it. Oh my goodness.
My. All right, well, Jojo's got a lot of utility now for his gold. $5,000 spent on extra range and a stopwatch. His damage, though, is not terribly high. This is a very utility-focused TF build, relying on the Varus, relying on the Gwen for damage.
I love this kid!
Yeah, he's great!
Love this kid! Oh my goodness!
Just bought the Zonias, already wasted it.
It's got to be a test drive. How can you know if it works unless you try it out?
This is why best of series are so fun. You know, round one, everyone's popping off. Haha, sit down, young blood. Bjergsen went legendary, 8 kills for him. Fights back here with a smite steal, brings EG right back into it.
I mean, that was crazy, because I thought that was about to be, you know, game over for TL. The TL was going to have such a massive lead that it was pretty much sealing the deal here, but Impact now in trouble. He is way up there.
EQ's going to be in range, and he can try with the ulti, he can get a bit of damage done, but he is going to die. Summoner on cooldown. Team Liquid with the dragon spawning in 10 seconds, have no opposing top laner.
Well, celebration might be cut pretty short here for EG. That is a well-timed pickoff for Team Liquid. Incredibly huge here, so definitely get to push up towards mid lane. They can get the tower, though, with the numbers advantage and retreat back to a full point pickup.
That could have been so good. If you evict 2 and you land the Varus ulti, that's actually a playable fight. Unfortunately, skill shots do not land, and mid-turret's going to die.
Yeah, it should be mid-turret plus a retreat back to the dragon pickup, because Impact will be up, but he has no teleport, so still 9 seconds left on that.
I think he might have enough time to actually get out there. We'll see if EG even wants to mess around with it. I mean, they have to answer Bwipo, so they probably won't even bother. I don't think that they're going to try. Inspired's just heading down the bot to push that out, so they're not going to look for any sort of a steal or anything like that.
Down to 2K, going to be a claim, no one's in range to steal, and Santorin gets to fully work it down. A little bit of help from Bjergsen. There's a smite at the end. 5,000 gold lead and soul point. Hey, there was a Baron steal, but the Red Bull Baron power play is negative 300 gold. Now it beats negative 5,000 gold. That is an upgrade over the other possibility, but it's not like EG actually gained ground since then.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were very far behind. The Baron steal keeps them in it. It does not secure them an advantage. But TL looking really, really good. Big pickoff on Impact, gets them another tower, gets them soul point. And Impact did spot Bwipo, I think, walking into that bush. I thought he saw him. Not 100% sure, though. And, I mean, it's just been kind of the Bwipo show over these last couple days. He's been so good.
Yeah, definitely this series, though, a lot more step up. Hansama, especially this time around, has been very good with the Aphelios. Last time, pretty good advantages in team play, leveraging around that bottom lane. This time around, on soul point, you've got 4 minutes until the dragon fight comes. And EG still will be scrounging around for some scrappy plays to get them back into it. It's obviously very difficult still to try and fight your way out of this, especially with this setup. So you're looking for the pickoffs, trying to spread the map, trying to catch a bit of a position error from Team Liquid.
I think it's going to be really hard, though, when all these luxury items come through for TL. You know, it becomes very difficult. You know, you've got Zhonya's, you've got a stopwatch on Hansama. You can see Mikhail's is going to be built up by Eyla. So there'll be Cleanse, stopwatch, and potentially Mikhail's in a little bit here as well. And it's very hard to really burst any of these people down. Impact isn't really winning in sides anymore because he's fallen so far behind Bwipo, so you don't even really have any winning matchup to answer this GP in a side lane.
Exactly. It is going to be hard, but you have to get scrappy to do that. And that's what they have done so far. The Baron steal, you know, going for it, throwing out. Here we go, the bait.
Pretty good damage. Impact going to dodge much damage as he can, and that's going to be the setup with TF showing up. 2v1 in the bot lane, kill on the board.
Exactly. Have to spread the map and look for those picks. Try and take advantage. Make this game dirty to try and get yourself back into it. Because if you fight Team Liquid, you know, they know exactly what to do with excess money, and they're going to hit you over the head with it. Very
a
good.
lot of experience being rich over there on Team Liquid.
Exactly. So EG got to get scrappy. They do just that. Jojo goes for another play, side lane pickoff. That is something, you know, get some gold out of a tower push in the aftermath. Big rewards there. That's probably the best you can hope for one of these mid-game little steps to work your way back into it, because, again, especially when Team Liquid are grouped up, they have so many options. Sylas scales like a monster here. Another item, Cosmic Drive. This is my dream scenario. It makes me dream of the old days when Sylas used to be able to jungle and was a prolific jungler, but once you get so much ability haste, the team fights become very enjoyable. Another pick here, though, on Inspired.
Root, decent damage, but Inspired is really tanky. Thorn Mail's in. A couple more cloth armors as well for probably a Randuin. It's going to be just okay.
And when Bjergsen at 16, that ulti cooldown becomes very important. They do get the cleanse there. Mikhail's not completed yet, obviously, for Eyla, so you know there is a window to try to punish this when he has no cleanse. And we'll see if they can find that.
Yeah, because he's going to bring so much more of these team fights. A level 16 Sylas in your team fight versus a level 16 TF trying to pick people off. If you can get some isolation and focus fire down, then that's where a reward could come from. But Team Liquid, securing the vision over Baron area is paramount for them. Keeping this one dark and starved for EG. 1 minute, 25 seconds left on the soul fight.
There you go. We know it's going to be soul point, as you mentioned. And what's going to happen here? Looking at the stun, not going to find it. Knock up there onto the back line. Tahm Kench brings it to safety. Huge dunk in the back, though. Is it enough? Santorin flash to safety. Bwipo in the front, diving in. Stopwatch buys some time, but it's going to be enough. Next Q will not find a target, but it's going to be a kill onto Gwen. Not immune any longer. As it's a 1-for-0. Team Liquid win the fight, and now it's a run away. And TL get to look at Baron again.
That's what they want. Money bags. Smash it in the face with it. 5-on-5. Force the engage onto the wall. Well done by them. Bwipo even playing some front line there. Very risky. Uses his flash, but the rewards should be Baron. They can try and steal again. Inspired's kind of close, and he's got flash. Doesn't want a suicide for it. Hard for Poppy to get in there.
Oh, almost the root. Not quite the slow. Out of range for everything else. Blue is claimed. Inspired gets away with 1.
And TL's frontliners are just playing so aggressive, you know, and even though they are putting themselves at risk, Bwipo's putting himself at risk, you know, Santorin is as well, it's creating this massive pocket of space for Hansama. And that is the real story when I'm watching these fights. When Hansama is sitting at full HP, nothing else really matters. He has all the damage that you need to clean up these fights, and EG are trying to struggle to escape the Sylas and the J4 and the GP piling in on them. But Hansama's, oh no.
It's too late! Bjergsen's able to land the stun in time. No way out for Jojopyun, and just missed estimates how long it takes to get the E back on range. So another kill in the side lane. That is Dragon Soul for Team Liquid.
Not quick enough on the teleport fingers. You have to be very, very fast on that. Bjergsen comes in, even though he's the old one in the situation, able to get the kill, and that is going to be another, like, drop in the bucket here for TL, because already up against the wall, EG, as we said, you have to get scrappy. You have to try and play so risky to spread the map and open up areas where you could punish. But TL able to take that lever away from them, and the path is clear. Straight through bottom lane. They have the Baron buff, taking out all the wards, keep Bwipo in the 4-1, and you can just pressure EG inside their base.
The only thing I can see them ever getting a pick on anymore is just the GP, because he's very squishy, but I think they have no answers for Hansama whatsoever at this point in the game. Mikhail's is complete, so it's Cleanse and Mikhail's available. You're never going to lock down this Aphelios, who is so far ahead of the curve of the game. Bjergsen is massive, and Santorin just needs to do his job and engage. Bwipo can follow up with the ulti. I just can't see Hans being threatened.
Play, here we go.
They're gonna look. Shirelius popped, try to get them grouped up, but is there a big team fight? Is the CC gonna be enough somehow? Vulcan's gonna 3-man knock for something. Otherwise, the gold is heavy. Team Liquid pushing forward now towards next turrets. You must fight now if ever. It doesn't get better than this. With the turrets helping out, but they're not gonna find their way in just yet. A slow doesn't mean much. Wave will be cleared, a bit more time. Slightly bot, but there is still 45 seconds of the Baron buff. And TL can go for Nexus next time. Good sidestep by Inspired. We wait for the next bottom wave coming in right now.
Yeah, they're pushing for the end here. Unless you can kill off Hans, this game will end, but they don't have the angle. They're going to try to knock a couple out and then go for a fight.
But again, they're able to sidestep away from Inspired, so once again, looking for the play. Ulti's going to land on a Vulcan. Vulcan is going to die from full HP. Dunk on the backline now as well, and it's a 2-for-0. 3 now picked up as well. Going to try for a final kill. They're not going to get a single one on the board. All of Team Liquid stand alive. Danny's Guardian Angel pops, and then he falls as well. It is game over. It's a 2-0 lead. Team Liquid about to sweep Evil Geniuses.
The defending lock-in champions are on tournament point.
Don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years. TL showing the power of their about People were heavily favoring EG coming into this one. The only talks I heard about 3-0s was EG 3-0ing TL, and now back-to-back games, they have stomped out EG. It's back to the drawing board. I don't think we're going to see any more TF. I think that we're going to have to see a mix-up here. Get rid of the Varus, get rid of the TF. They have not been able to create the kind of advantages that EG needs to get with them, because when we get these later stages, Aphelios is always untouched. They cannot punish Hansam in any one of these fights. The only damage he was taking from that was from the Nexus towers because he's dancing on him, and that's about as close as we got to dying in the last like 15, 20 minutes of the game.
This is impressive, and you got to give credit to the players that are playing now, because only Santorin remains from the last year from lock-in champions, with Core JJ, not being able to play because of the green card. So even with Team Liquid reorganizing, pulling from all these different parts, coming up big in the finals, 2-0. What a lead.
Good job, Team Liquid. They've closed out game 2 and are 1 win away from being back-to-back lock-in champions. So while EG and TL ready up for